You know, just a really tough-minded, gritty game by both teams. Certainly Villanova could have won the game. I'm glad we did. We've been in a number of games this year, as everybody in this room recognizes. And in games like this, at times we've pulled up short. We've been on the wrong end of the final score. And really that's what this is about, being able to win. But I do think the quality of play, our level of play, is better than the record that we have. And it's up to me and our staff and our team to continue to work to make our level of play even better. And with that, eventually the wins will follow. That is a fact. What we have to be careful of is when you lose and go through tough stretches, you can lose your confidence, your will, and at times that level of play that was there, that had you right in the game to win it, it starts to depart, and now you're playing a different brand of basketball. You're not at the same level, and things can really go south. I credit our group really the last week and a half to be tough-minded, to keep working, to increase our level of play, and to fight and be in a game like this and be able to win it. The DePaul game gave us some confidence. Tonight it gives you some confidence, and now we're ready to go through a very difficult stretch. It's what the Big East is about. You know, we're at Marquette, at St. John's, then I think we got UConn at home, at Creighton, and then from there, just, you know, I don't know if it matters to go beyond that. Those are 4 tough games, but I think for us, we can't look at it like, oh my God, it's what we just did. It's how much better can we get these next 3 days? What can we learn from our game here tonight? Can we continue to keep our level of play increasing? And we're healthy right now, knock on wood. And you know, let's go to a road game, next game at Marquette, and be the very best version of who we are in that game. And then see where that takes us. Because when you play at the level that we're capable of, you know, we've proven we can play against the best teams in this country. The game of winning and losing, that's a different story. And tonight we finally broke through. Proud of our guys, really. There were some ugly moments in the game. I didn't think the first half was great. I worried about our confidence at halftime, but it was our defense. It was Ryan Conwell rising to new heights, and it was our team just staying with it all the way to the end. I also want to say this. There's no doubt in my mind that if our students weren't here, that we would not have won. We would not have had enough energy in the building without them to win the game. A big reason we won the game is because of our students. I mean, they showed up in full force. It feels like, God, 2 months since they've been here. We missed them. We've missed them in some games where we haven't played well, but they inspired our group. They give us that home court advantage that I think everybody associates with Xavier basketball, Cintas Center, and the Big East. And we, you know, are very, very grateful to have them back in the spring semester, and I want to thank them for making a big difference in tonight's game.
Coach Ryan talked about kind of getting over his shooting slump over the last 2.5, 3 games. The second half of DePaul was kind of a nice bounce back for him. Just what can you say about his performance in the second half that he had to carry you guys, especially coming in cold with foul trouble on the bench?
That's what makes his performance, I think, extra special. You know, he not only did it in the most meaningful part of the game. I think he finished with 13 straight points. You know, you have 34 for the game, but he had to overcome foul trouble. He had to overcome actually a couple shots in the first half. He can't get better looks than the ones he missed. And, you know, that can really weigh on you. That can weigh on your confidence. But, you know, man, he really knocked them down when we needed them. And he played like an all Big East performer here tonight. He was the best player on the court.
On that note of missing open looks, in the first half, after you made your first 5 field goal attempts, kind of hit a cold streak and Villanova took advantage, did you think it was a case of just missing some open looks that you got, or something Villanova's defense did to kind of slow you down?
You know, they bounced back and forth between zone and man more against us than they normally do. I don't blame them for doing it because we weren't making shots, so it's like, let's stick with it until it changes. But I do think as the game wore down, you know, some of the open looks that Ryan got, they might have been between defenses. In transition, it's hard to play a matchup zone. I thought the game got fast off of a couple stops, and as we shared the ball, we created good opportunities. But look, our defense, we haven't talked a lot about defense the last couple of years. We've been on a quest to improve it. But tonight, a big reason we won is I thought we did a good job on Dixon. I thought we did a good job of getting key stops and being difficult to score on. And that doesn't mean that Villanova didn't miss a couple quality shots. I also think they hit a couple tough ones. But we didn't just roll over and allow Dixon to destroy us. He was 6 for 16. He averages 25 points. He had 18, which is a good night. But for him, that's not up to what he's been doing. So I credit our guys for really on that side of the ball, giving a lot of great effort.
Sean, what about the start of the second half? How important was that just to get back into the rhythm of the game and give yourself a chance?
Yeah, the first 4 minutes of the second half changed things because we limped into halftime. I mean, we didn't have a lot of, I don't want to say a lot of energy because that's like signifies effort. That's not the case. But look, when you keep missing shots and you're in a Big East game and you see that lead going the other way, it can really take your spirit. And I think we were soul searching a little bit at halftime. But we came out. I thought Ryan got fouled on the first play of the second half for 3, and then we got going. We were better in the second half, and which sometimes that's what you have to do. And when you're at home and you have the crowd that we had here tonight, you had the students like we had, you can feed off of that, and you can be difficult to beat down that home stretch. Let me say this: when we go on the road, that's how it feels. So it's great to have that here.
Sean, you talked about.
I can hear you.
You talked about quality basketball not always equating to wins and losses, but when you can get over that hump, find a way to win in a game that you played from behind for most of the night, how far can that take your team confidence-wise moving forward? To know that you're able to do that.
Yeah, I mean, it's 2 parts. It's to really see it truly for what it is. And in a game, there are things you do well and there are things you don't. There are things that we're capable of fixing by working together. And then there are things that sometimes are out of your control, a high level of play by the opponent. But you try to see the game itself for truly what it is. The object is to win every game. But when you're at the level of play that we've been at, and you've come close numerous times and haven't broken through, I think you hang on to that a little bit more. So now that you've been able to establish a couple of wins, confidence comes with the final score. You don't have as many outside forces working against you. They start to work for you. And then you can, start to look at yourself as playing well and move on into that next game, maybe with bigger confidence. But at the end of the day, we still have to stay on this same track. And that is, tonight we did some good things. We did some things that we have to grow and learn from. And we have to just constantly improve, just because we have so much basketball left in front of us.
One last question.
When you see a player like Ryan Conwell close out the game like he did, to score 13 points in the last 100 seconds of the game, what is it like to watch from your standpoint and see that happening?
Yeah, I mean, look, the teams that win, the coaches that win a lot, they have the best players. I mean, basketball is such a player's game. One of those guys gets hot. We've seen it here in our program for decades, right? That one guy can kind of take you to those new heights. Quincy Oliveri did it numerous times last year. A year before, a number of those guys could do it, but like Sule Boom could get hot, right? So Ryan Conwell, we were looking at him like it just seemed like he was on the fringe of being able to break out. And thank goodness tonight was his night.
Thanks, Coach.
Thanks, Sean.